B-Marsh Boxing back at it with another video, and this is a somber video, you know. Just want to give a rest in power, rest in peace to a Washington and Baltimore Bullets legend. I got to include the Baltimore Bullets because that's where he started. Baltimore, Washington Bullets legend, Wes Unseld. I would say the greatest player in Washington Bullets slash Wizards history. You know what I mean? I think definitely got to give it up to the man Wes Unseld. You know, the Washington Bullets was a franchise. He came here from the Baltimore Bullets actually. You know, and he passes away at the age of 75. Um, I read that he was battling with leukemia. You know, and he died after suffering, lengthy health battles, and most recently, not leukemia, excuse me, pneumonia. You know, so just want to give a rest in power to Wes Unseld, one of the greatest NBA players. Definitely was a top 50 NBA player. Remember when they had the top 50 players announced at the 1997 All-Star game? Wes Unseld was among them. You know, Wes Unseld was a guy who brought the Washington Bullets, DC basketball, professional basketball, the only world title they ever got, and that was in 1978, where they beat the Seattle SuperSonics, and he was also the MVP of the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? So he's no joke. He's also an NBA MVP in 1969, his rookie year. He's the only him and him. He's the only man along with Will Chamberlain to be named Rookie of the Year and MVP of the league in the same year. It's only been done by two people. You know what I mean? You know, in 1978 when he won his championship for the playoffs, he averaged 9.4 points and 12 rebounds. If you know anything about Wes Unseld, Wes Unseld was about 6'7", but he was a rebounding demon. In his rookie year, when he won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season, he averaged 13.8 points and 18.2 rebounds. You know, like I said, a rebounding demon, a monster on the boards for 6'7". You know, everybody knows Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace to me reminded me of Wes Unseld. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He reminded me of Wes Unseld. Not, um, Ben Wallace was a great shot blocker, you know, and a defensive presence, just like the man Wes Unseld. You know what I'm saying? So, Wes Unseld was also a coach for the what you call it, a coach for the Bullets, a general manager. He's held many positions in the Washington franchise. You know, he was close to the former owner of the Washington Wizards and Washington Bullets, Abe Poland, who passed away, and you know, Wes Unseld, five-time All-Star, NBA MVP, NBA Finals MVP. You know, gotta give him his credit. You know, the man took his team to four NBA Finals. You know what I mean? You know, that's quite an accomplishment right there. Four NBA Finals, and I know they lost to. He's won one out of the four. He lost to his first championship he had been to was when they lost to the Baltimore Bullets. Lost to. They actually got swept by Milwaukee Bucks. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA championship, his first NBA championship, they swept the Milwaukee Bucks swept the Baltimore Bullets, and that was, I believe, in 1971. And then the Washington Bullets, coached by Celtic great Casey Jones, they got swept by the Golden State Warriors in 1975, 4-zip, you know. And then they finally beat the Seattle. Finally got a world championship in 1978 when they beat the Seattle SuperSonics in 7 games. You know what I mean? With guys like Bobby Dandridge, uh, Elvin Hayes. Ironically, when Wes Unseld got drafted number two in 1968, the number two overall pick. The number one overall pick in that draft was Elvin Hayes, one of the greatest power forwards people never speak about. Top 10 for sure. You know, if it wasn't for guys like KG and Tim Duncan and these type of guys, Dirk Nowitzki, who came along in the 2000s, before that, Elvin Hayes was a top five, dead or alive, power forward of all time. So that's Washington Bullets team. They won, with guys like Bobby Dandridge, Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes. I believe Phil Chenier was also on that team, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And then they lost the following year to the same team, the Seattle Supersonics, in 5 games. You know what I mean? So Wes Unseld had a long career. I believe he retired in 81 or in 1980 or 81. You know, I just had to pay homage to the greatest player in Washington professional basketball history. From the Baltimore Bullets till they came to Washington, and they were called the Capitol Bullets, and they changed their name officially to the Washington Bullets, and now they're the Washington Wizards. Wes Unseld will remain a great. Rest in power, Wes Unseld, and you'll never be forgotten. Be Marsh Box and leave your thoughts and comments. I'm gone. Peace.